Hello everyone. Welcome to the Creator Metaphysical Store. This is my channel. So today we are going to be talking about crystals for beginners. I think it's also important to make note that a lot of people have this misconception about a specific set of crystals that are just for beginners. That's not true. That's not what this video is for. It's merely a recommendation of what I have seen from other people and from my own experiences as well with crystals. It's more to kind of give you a general guidance. It's not to be, this information is not to be considered like factual. It's more of based on my own experiences because crystals may work for some people, or certain crystals that I'm talking about in this video may not work for some people rather than others because everyone's energy is different. So I just want to point out that this is more based off experience rather than factual evidence. Okay, there is no really set way to say, oh, this is specifically for beginners, because crystals are crystals. It doesn't have a differentiation of, well, oh, this person looks nice, I'm willing to work with this person. There is no differentiation in that. So just wanted to point that out. But these are the beginner crystals after much consideration by my gods and goddesses. Hecate is the main one who helped me select which ones are she considered to be good for beginners, okay? So the first one she wants me to talk about is the garnet. This is actually a rough piece of garnet. It's a really nice piece, actually. And I believe I got this one. Yes, I did get this one at the Parla Hot Springs in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So it's really cool. This is good if you're trying to use it for love spells, especially love and lust spells. So if you're trying to get someone to fall in love with you, this is a great stone. But be careful, because love can be tricky, is all I'm going to say. It's also a good stone to have on you. I found it to be really good for blood, to use it for as a way to regulate my blood. I found that while working with this stone that it helps with my heart, because I sometimes have these irregular heartbeats, and by working with this stone it helps keeps that to a minimum when working with Dalmatian jasper or howlite. But it's also a good stone to connect to your root chakra. And when you connect to this stone is more so about bringing that independence, that passionate fire, that strength, and it's passion and strength, vitality. Those are the keywords I want to say represent this stone. So passion, strength, vitality. You can use this for love or lust spells or self-love. If you want to passionately love yourself, this is a good stone to work with. And it's good for to where if you're having blood clots or issues with your blood, wear this stone. It's really good for that. Now, the next stone that she wants me to utilize to bring into this is a tiger's eye. Tiger's eye comes in many colors. I was lucky to be given this one or find this one. It's got hematite on one end. I don't know if you can see that tip of hematite there, but it's got red tiger's eye, and it looks like there's hematite on each end, which is really cool. So, but we're talking about the tiger's eye in this hematite tipped tiger's eye, which I think is pretty cool. Tiger's eye is a good stone of knowledge and a stone of protection. In ancient times, they believed in its protection of properties to keep away evil sorceries and hexes, especially in Egyptian times. I found that when connecting with Bast explained to me that they used to connect the stone to her, and it was used. She was the goddess of protection. She was also a mother goddess because she had a cat goddess daughter, Bastet. Um, And she also was the goddess of assassins because she was very stealthy, very quick. So she was also revered as the goddess of assassins in Egyptian times. I mean, of course, there were other gods and goddesses that played that role, but mainly the goddess Bast. And so this is a god who was also very intelligent, a goddess who was very intelligent, very quick on her feet. So you can consider the tiger's eye to be a one, if you're trying to connect with the cat goddess Bast, this is a great stone to work with. Two, if you're trying to be quick on your feet, have sharpen your eyes vision, this is a great stone to work with because it helps you observe and see things more clearly with clarity. But then it's also a stone of knowledge because the cat has to be smart and intelligent in order to be able to complete the task that it was sent to complete. So yes. So that's a little information and background, but mainly this stone is used for protection and knowledge. I would rather associate it with protection rather than knowledge because I feel that's just how I've experienced it before. Another substitute, if you're looking for a stone of knowledge, this stone is called lapis lazuli or lapis lazuli, and that is a really good stone of knowledge. It also helps with inner truth and connects it to the throat chakra as well and third eye. The next stone on my list is a smoky quartz. I actually have two different kinds of smoky quartz just to let's show you guys. This one's not really so much smoky as it is clear, but if you can see it in the right tip, it's got like clearness to it. This one is more smoky than it is clear quartz. And smoky quartz is a stone that can be considered to be a neutralizer. I found it to be very good at neutralizing negativity. It actually absorbs it and neutralizes it. And another great stone that works well with this stone is black tourmaline because black tourmaline acts in a similar way. It absorbs that energy and neutralizes that. So that's another stone that I would recommend. Okay. Now the next stone on my list is Hecate is pointing to the rose quartz that I have here. This is a small rose quartz heart. This rose quartz is good for self-confidence. It's also good for love, as you can see. And it's good for self-love, self-confidence. What else is it good for? Oh, it's good for the heart chakra as well. I found that there are three different types of heart chakra energy. There's the green, the pink, and the blue. I believe the pink is more about the unconditional love energy. The green heart chakra, from what I understood, was more so about life energy and vitality. And this is also where we store a lot of our experiences in our ba. But then there's also the blue heart chakra, which this is a light blue, not an indigo blue, a light blue. Because this is where all of our emotions and the water energy is stored right here. And that's what I was told by my travels as a very young kid. But that's for another time. Let's put a pin in that. We'll talk about that in another video because I don't want to get off topic. But yes, this is a good stone. It's rose quartz. It's good for self-love, confidence in the self. It's actually a really good loving stone, and it's called the mother stone. It's very nurturing. Another good stone that you would like would what I would recommend to pair it up with is lepidolite. Lepidolite is also a good stone, and then if you pair it up with charoite, which is C8. So let me make sure I'm spelling it right. So give me 1 second here. Charoite. Crystal. Stop, I'm spelling it right. Okay, I'm just want to make sure. Okay. This is another good stone. Labradorite. That's a good stone for protection, not for protection, for healing, deep trauma healing, and so that's a really good stone to have. Another good stone would be amethyst. Now, this is an amethyst which I believe has charoite in it because of how it feels. Um, but this is another form of amethyst, as you can see. Amethyst is a really good for creating psychic protection. So if you have a circle of amethyst around you, you can use that to kind of build a psychic barrier around your home. It's actually really good if you pair it up with smoky quartz to give that neutralizing that psychic energy, so to neutralize excess mental energy. It's also a good stone to enhance your intuition, but I feel like it more gives mental clarity rather than anything else. It helps you with with retaining knowledge, just much like the tiger's eye and the lapis lazuli. They're both really, all three of those are really good at helping you retain knowledge. So that's a good stone to also work with. This is clear quartz. This is my go-to. Okay, and this is one of there are actually two different stones that I would consider to be a good substitute stone. This one is clear quartz. Clear quartz is a stone that I find to be very universal. You can use it as a substitute stone for any in your rituals, but it's also really good to connect with just the programming it with whatever your intention may be. Um, so another good substitute would be glass because how glass is made is using the four elements. It's using sand from the beach, right? So you got that water and earth energy already. Then you got that fire energy when they melt it down, and then the air energy when the glass blower blows air into it. You see what I'm saying? So there's got that four elemental energy, which makes it very, very versatile and very good, especially at binding certain spirits to a certain object. If you're having a hard time with an entity and it's not leaving you alone, you can take a glass crystal ball, any glass, but I prefer crystal balls because the more spherical it is, the more it's unable to leave because there are no sharp edges for it to puncture out. And glass also is a good stone because it's very porous, and when it shatters, it doesn't. It's I find this part to be very difficult to explain, but I found that the how do I want to say it? It's like when it shatters, it doesn't necessarily mean that the entity has escaped. It actually broke it even further. It's like basically breaking a pencil, right? And then breaking that pencil even more, right? To where it's into cut into four. So that's how I best would explain it, is that glass doesn't release it even if it's broken. It actually shatters that thing into many fractals. So if you want to like bind it and then smash it to pieces, go ahead and do it because it'll in a way it's kind of like evisceration or execration. You're shattering it to pieces so it never comes back, right? um, I recommend if you're gonna do that, take an iron nail and a hammer and smash the glass crystal or glass with it for sure, because iron is also a good banishing, and hammers, so right. Now on for the fun. Oh, and then the last stone that I want to bring into is labradorite. This is a stone that I have worked with a lot, and so it's not in its best condition. I haven't used it in a long, long time. So, but this is labradorite. It's called the cosmic stone. It helps with strengthening intuition and all that jazz. So I would recommend um, working with labradorite if you're trying to increase your psychic abilities and your intuition. So here's the fun part. The fun part of this is where I talk about the gods and goddesses and their association. So amethyst is a lunar stone. So any lunar goddess would be working well with this. I recommend Hecate first and foremost. She's also a good goddess that connects well with the stone. Selena, Diana, Artemis are also good ones that would be very, very good at connecting with the stone. So now garnet. Garnet is the vitality stone, and I find it to be really good, surprisingly, to connect to Persephone. And well, not surprisingly for Persephone, but Hecate as well. But it's mostly I found this to be associated with Persephone and Hades energy vibes. Um, I also find it to be a really good stone if you're working with like the Mexican deities, like the Aztecs and stuff, especially those that require blood offerings. I found that, especially Quetzalcoatl, this is a stone that I found to be really good at connecting with him. Um, what else? Who else would I recommend working with this stone? You can work with Hestia with this stone because Hestia is all about the hearth, and we know that the where the soul is stored is directly in the heart, right? That's where the seat is. So that's a good stone to work with. Rose quartz is good at working with any. Oh, and this is also a love stone, so you could use this to work with any deities like Aphrodite, Cupid. You could even do Eros or any love or lust deities at that. Or fertility deities such as Freya, or not Freya. I mean, wow, Frey, right? Wrong kid's sister, right? But this is a stone that rose quartz is really good at. Again, Aphrodite, Cupid, Eros. But I found this also to be working well with Freya and Frigga energy as well. So those are really good stones, and I found it to also work well with, surprisingly enough, Aphrodite. So there's that. Another two of these smoky quartz are really good at working with any protectional god. I found it actually to be really good with those of the shadows because it obscures. It's like very obscured. It's very shadowy. So any shadow goddess like or Titan or primordial being before them, like Nyx or the goddess Nut, Knut, Nut, Knut. Sorry. Um, so those are really good goddesses to work with. Again, Hecate pops into my head when I make a mention. What other beings would again Hades, Persephone? Let's see. Are there any other? Oh, Loki is also a good one because it's also about tricksters and tricking and illusion work. So he could help you with that as well as shadow work. So I found those to be really good with working with Loki as well. Now, as far as the labradorite, this is I'd like to just say that this is a cosmic stone. So any cosmic deity, I feel always felt like any god or goddess would work well with the stone. But there are some Buddha. Can't think of the name right now, but it's good with working with Brahma energy, any cosmic deity for that matter, like Sophia energy, the goddess Sophia, Rhea, the queen of the heavens, Isis, Hecate, but all those who rule the heavens. It's really good stone to work with. And I will say this stone right here is just universal, so you could use it for any god or goddess for sure. So that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to cover in this video. So I hope you found the information here helpful. I know that I was rambling on a little bit, so I do apologize. I tend to get so passionate and into a story that I tend to go in like rabbit holes, if you will. I want to use that term. So I apologize for the miniature ramblings. But overall, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Remember, you guys are beautiful, powerful, shamanic people, and you are very powerful creators. Namaste, well met, and blessed be.